Blessed are the poor in spirit. The Beatitude. Why was Jesus saying, blessed are the poor in spirit? Why Jesus used the poor? Because if you look at the characteristic of the poor people, they are always in need of help. A rich person, most of the time, they would not ask for help because maybe they have money, they can't do anything. But the poor people, even if you look at your government, you will find that they are always crying for help. That is the kind of heart that God wants in His kingdom. A heart that is willing to be guided, a heart that is crying for help, because the moment you realize you need help from God, then you will experience His power. Rich people may not cry for help. So if your spirit is poor, you will need God to guide you. You need God more. You cry for God. Poor people are always crying. Cry even for nothing. You need to be always in, crying to God. You need always to depend on God. Because if you say you are rich, you not have time to pray. Poor people are always praying. And God wants a prayerful person. Jesus was poor in spirit. That's why he was praying to God. Each and every day Jesus was in prayer because he needed God. He knew without God he cannot succeed. So independent on God. So you must be poor in spirit. And that's the kind of the spirit that God is seeking. People who know they cannot survive without God. If you say you are rich, you don't need God, you don't need to pray, you don't need to cry before the Lord, how will you be helped? How will you receive the blessing of God? Jesus showed it by example, praying on the mountain, praying each and every day, even crying blood, crying, sweating blood, crying to God. You must be poor in spirit before the Lord. But if you say you are rich in His spirit before the Lord, that means you don't need any help from God. So, think about it.